Hello YouTube, Size17 here, but you can just call me Travis, and I am back for another collection update. Not much else to say, so let's just jump in. We are listening to, changing up a little bit this week, going with To the Insane Asylum by Twisted Insane, probably one of my favorite rappers ever. This is a 2013 album, probably my favorite by him. You know, if you're into rap, speed rap, check this guy out. You won't be disappointed. Alright. First up is a Japanese heavy metal band, Metalucifer. This has a couple of the members from Sabat in it. But yeah, this is a heavy metal drill. As you can assume from a title like Heavy Metal Drill, these guys are just like just to have a lot of fun playing heavy metal. You know, you got song titles like Heavy Metal Is My Way, title track Heavy Metal Drill, Heavy Metal Hunter, Wolfman, Headbanging, Iron and Steel and Metal, plus also this awesome picture of him holding a drill on the cover. Actually, here's two of their other albums, Heavy Metal Chainsaw and Heavy Metal Bulldozer. So yeah, you could tell with those titles, this is these guys are just having a lot of fun. Yeah, this material is pretty cool. It's not my favorite heavy metal band ever, but it's got some good riffs. It's got some competent solos. The vocals are, you know, energetic if nothing else. This is definitely worth your time if you're into heavy metal. Woo! Heavy metal at all. Pictures on the inside. Some credits, etc. But yeah, this is just this is pretty fun. They have another full length that is like heavy metal. It's like Heavy Metal Bulldozer Tectonic Attack or something, and it's like the same songs from Heavy Metal Bulldozer. And I don't really know what the difference is. I haven't really looked into it, but so yeah, they have another full length too. Then they have a bunch of like 20 out live albums or something. You know, it's like Sabat has like a bajillion releases. But yeah, Metalucifer. Can't stress them enough. Next up is another I've been just trying to keep up. Vardan. This is his 2015 release. Another one on Moribund Records. This one's called The Night, The Lonliness. Just like all the other ones, this one's you know, pretty much the same kind of stuff. It's very you know, atmospheric, bird zombie kind of sounding stuff. One thing I thought was kind of interesting on this one is there's 5 songs in here, and they're called Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, and Part 6. I thought it was interesting because obviously, where's Part 1? I looked through his entire discography looking for a one that was called like this, Part 1. Nothing. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Here's inside. That was interesting because I bought that album that he's wearing the shirt of just recently. It's pretty good. What's it called? It's like No Pleasure in Life or something like that. I can't remember anymore. But it was pretty good. Did an unboxing video. Inside, you know, nothing much, but there's some credits and stuff. But yeah, Vardan, just trying to keep up, which makes it hard because the dude just released 2 full-length albums earlier this month, so I am behind already. But I'll get there eventually because I'll keep on buying them here and there. But yeah, I enjoyed listening on this probably like 3 or 4 times, just as good as some of the other albums. So yeah, The Night, The Loneliness by Vardan. Alright, the next 2 I'm very, very happy to get. Got these in this week. Pretty excited. The first one is... do I have the right one? No, I need to do this one first. This is Dauthuz by Bekëth Nexëhmü, one of my new favorite bands. This is off Ancient Records through Purity Through Fire. That's where I got both of these. In fact, I got 3 of the other CDs by the same band through Purity Fire, and actually, it's a badass shirt as well. Really into Bekëth Nexëhmü now. This is their the first material by them. This is 2010, and this is the one where it sounds the most improvised to me. The drums are a little more sloppy. You can kind of tell that they're transitioning or whatever between the different parts. Yeah, I still thought it's still Bekëth Nexëhmü. It's still really rad. I like this a lot. I actually kind of like to hear the early kind of sounds of what the band started off like. So yeah, Dauthuz. And actually, I even looked because there's like I've seen multiple ways that this is spelled online. It's spelled like that with the TH, and then I've also seen it with like to like an English reader, it looks like a P sort of, but it's actually I guess a runic word or something, and it's like thorn, so it has an F sound, so it's like TH. So anyway, if you're questioning that online, that's what that means, I guess. Then the next one is probably you can tell already. This is another album by Bekëth Nexëhmü. This is Forna, Sederna Dauthuz, which I found out just means part 2. Yeah, this one's really cool too. This came out in 2015, but was actually just released on CD this year. So that's pretty cool. Perfect timing for me becoming a Bekëth Nexëhmü fan. There's the inside. Get the notes out for you. Nothing really on the inside. As usual, just kind of a nature photo with him in the darkness, being creepy or whatever it is he's doing. But yeah, I'm super excited to have both these into the collection. Now the only thing that I really want left of his material is there's a 7-inch. It's really expensive on Discogs, so I'm probably never going to buy it, but maybe someday, you never know. Otherwise, it's just cassettes, and not really concerned about getting cassettes. Maybe they'll press them on CD someday, and if that's the case, I'll buy them then, but otherwise, move on. But yeah, Bekëth Nexëhmü, one of the top bands of 2017, and I foresee in the future just being the top one forever, because it's all the albums are good. All the albums are good. This next one, I was actually what's what I want. What made me want to buy this was of a different release I received, and I showed in a previous collection update with that was that Anal Trump, and I was thinking, you know, obviously with the Anal Trump, the referencing the band Anal Cunt, and I was like, you know what, I don't even have anything by Anal Cunt. So I went through their discography and tried to figure out which album I would want to buy the most, and finally a good copy of what I wanted came up on Discogs, and so I pulled the trigger real fast, and I got their debut album. This is Everyone Should Be Killed, obviously by Anal Cunt. 58 songs with awesome song titles like Some Songs and Some More Songs and Even More Songs. I also liked where's the 2 in a row that I also liked? Give me a second, there's 58 of them back here. Song titles are fucking stupid, followed by having to make up song titles sucks. So I enjoyed a lot of these song titles. But yeah, I mean it's grindcore. Back when I first started getting really into grindcore, the dude I was hanging out with was really into grind, and you know, Cunt was one of his favorite bands. I don't know if I showed the CD. 94 came out, I believe, if I didn't say that. Nothing on the inside. Well, there's pictures, not nothing, but yeah, I mean, sounds like Anal Cunt. It's grind. I kind of, one thing that I thought was kind of cool, one thing that actually is something that my wife opined when she heard a few seconds of the band was that, oh, it's pretty impressive that the guy does the crazy screams and also the lower guttural stuff, and my wife's not really into metal at all, or is not into metal. So I thought that was a pretty observant thing to notice, and yeah, I think it's pretty true. So yeah, Everyone Should Be Killed by Anal Cunt. Next up, next two actually kind of fit a theme. Pretty happy to add these into the collection. If you watched my top 20 albums that got me into death metal video, you'll note that at the very end I noted 3 albums that would have made my list if I didn't suck and didn't own them. Well, I thought I'd change that. And so here's the first one. This is Demigod by Behemoth. This came out in 2004. Yeah, 2004, and I think this is like a 2005 or 6 release. Yeah, 2005. Slipcase. Yeah, this album's pretty solid. You know, I'm not a huge Behemoth fan. This album was just seminal in terms of the fact that it was one of the first death metal albums that really reacted well with me. Yeah, lyrics and you know, pictures and stuff like that, and credits here and there. But yeah, pretty cool. It's actually arrived today, so it's pretty cool. I got to include it in this video. This is like half of it. Yeah, it's pretty bad that I have never owned it before now. But hey, never too late, right? Is that a saying? I don't know if it is. Never too late, probably isn't one. But yeah, Demigod, Behemoth. And in a similar vein, actually ordered all 3 of them, and only 2 of them have arrived. Here's the next one. This is Carcass's Necroticism, Descanting the Insalubrious. Descanting the Insalubrious. This is 91 this came out, I believe. It's 91? Yeah, 91 I think. This one, it's kind of interesting to go through this one because, like I said, obviously I've never owned it before. But I owned Heartwork, and with Heartwork, obviously I'd always kind of assumed that that this album was heavily influenced by Michael Amott, because this was the first album he was in, and he was on Heartwork 2, and obviously went on to do Arch Enemy. And so I always kind of thought that, you know, this album, because this one kind of is a noticeable departure from the previous 2, and I always kind of assumed that Michael Amott was the main instigator in that, and it actually was kind of interesting to find out that he really wasn't. Obviously, he was influential in ways, but in terms of the songwriting credits, not as much. In fact, I think it's only 2 songs on this album. Corporal Jigsaw Quandary, which is just Michael Amott all over it, which that song rules. That's easily my favorite song on the album, and probably my favorite song by Carcass. That riff is just great. And in fact, even Children of Bodom had to kind of quasi-rip it off on their song Bottom Beach Terror from Hate Crew Death Roll. Yeah, that one. And there's another song too, yeah, Solvent Abuse or whatever. Yeah, Incarnated Solvent Abuse also is the only other song on this album that has a Michael Amott credit. Here's the inside. I don't know if I showed that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting because I'd always just assumed that that he was heavily involved in the songwriting. Because maybe I had looked at Heartwork and saw that he was. But it's also possible I just assumed it based on what it sounded like. Because actually I ended up going through Carcass after I looked and saw that he actually wasn't involved in many of the songs from that album. It made me want to go back through Heartwork and see how much he was involved in that one. And it was much more significant because the credits listed as all songs by him and Bill Steer, except for the ones with asterisks, which are the first song, Buried Dreams, and then No Love Lost, Arbeit Mocked Fleisch, Blind Bleeding the Blind. So like half the songs pretty much. But it's actually interesting because I would have guessed like Buried Dreams and No Love Lost would have been Michael Amott songs. But those ones, I actually don't think it's that. The ones with asterisks are just by Bill Steer. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the main reasons why I personally can't understand not wanting to buy physical stuff, because man, I love going through liner notes and actually, you know, finding out stuff about bands, or going through the thanks section by Will Raymer on I think it's think it's Hacked Up for Barbecue. I want to say it's that album. Just go through right now. Yeah, here we go. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. If you haven't ever read the liner notes for Hacked Up for Barbecue, go to, and maybe one day I'll read this, because one day when I was going through, the same guy who I talked about earlier who was super into grime, one day we were just hanging out listening to a bunch of stuff, and for whatever reason he started reading through the liner notes, and he came across this section that's just super funny. It's in the, Will would like to, it starts right here, Will would like to say hello and thanks to following people, and then it continues on to the back of this, at least my copy does, I don't know if the liner notes are all similar. And then down here, where it ends in these many exclamation points, this section here, I'm not going to read it right now, but check that shit out, that shit is hilarious. And part of it might have been the voice that my friend used when he read it for the first time, but check that out. I don't think you will regret it. So yeah, big up on liner notes. Alright, last one of the week. This one's a 7-inch. Super happy to have this in my collection. Yeah, it's Acid Witches, and this is these are two different versions of this. This one is called To Magic, Sex, and Gore. There was another version with different artwork. It's called Midnight Mass. Essentially, that's just, there's an intro, and then those are the two song titles, Midnight Mass and To Magic, Sex, and Gore. Side A, Side B. Yeah, this is another one of those things that I've wanted forever, but previously I wasn't buying vinyls, never got it. Now that I am, added this Discog's wish list immediately, and just waited for a good price. Love the artwork. Could have bought either one. Decided to go with this one because I like the artwork better. Although I do like the logo they used on this one less than their other logos in the one that was on Midnight Mass. But yeah, I've been listening to this material forever. Watch my dogs walk in front of me. And yeah, I'm just super excited to actually now own this. It has an insert with the picture and a little saying, and it's got lyrics and info on this side. Pretty cool. The record is on this cool looking yellow and red with black splatter. And actually, it's I'm not sure if I have a misprint or what's going on with my specific copy. But when I was looking on Discogs, I noticed that the labels on here typically, or at least the version for each they have on there, match the art for this. But mine has the Midnight Mass labels on it. And I mean, my version is the yellow and red black splatter, so that's the version. The other, because the other version's like, I think it's like orangey and like brown or something. I'm not totally sure. I can't remember. But it's something. I think it's orange or brown, something like that maybe. So yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on, but hey, if that's a misprint, that's cool with me. I'm glad to have something that's maybe even a little more rare. But yeah, I'm super excited to have this in the collection. Pretty much now, I just need to get the Witch House 7-inch EP, which I would love to get, but it's a little pricey for a 7-inch. I will definitely pull the trigger someday. But at this moment, I am not going to. And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to let my dog out of the room. Thank you. So yeah, Acid Witch to Magic, Sex, and Gore. Super pumped to have this in my collection. Want to get, like I said, I want to get the Witch House EP. It's a little pricey right now, but I'll pull the trigger one day, and you know, I'll be happy to get it. If it was a full-length album, I probably would have bought it already. But for 2 tracks, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow for that much. But I'll do it someday. And then I would also like someday to get the other version of this, but obviously since I already have this, it's not super high on the priority list. don't know if I said this is Hell's Headbangers. I really didn't really say where any of these were from. This 2010 release, I think. Ask the Witch, by the way, if you watch this video somehow randomly, please release a full-length album. I need one bad. I saw that, like, June of last year, they said they were, it made it seem like on their Facebook they were going to have one come out Halloween, but obviously that did not happen. But, I don't know. I just wanted to have one because they're one of my favorite bands and all their material is super fucking sick. And, yeah, it's good. But yeah, that's all I got for the show this week. Want to shout out to all my subscribers. I've got like 17 or something now. That's awesome. Love the fact people are checking out my videos. Please comment. You will almost definitely get a reply from me. I love talking about what I showed or anything else you want to talk about too. Yeah, that's all I got for this week. Have a good day.